Hey, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, it's not going to be a production, but it's going to be 3 important things that I've learned in over 15 years of being a music producer and being involved in music production and things like that. Because first of all, I started off as an artist and I just always used to, rap and write lyrics and things like that. And then later on, I started to get into music production, and from there on, I got hooked and I didn't turn back. I was full on music producer, and then I changed all the way from being my own artist to being music producer, of which that sounds strange to say, from artist to music producer, because music producers are also artists, but that's just now semantics. But 3 things that I've learned that for me are on the top of my list of things I always remind myself as I go through this music journey to just keep in mind and as a guide to what to focus on, because I feel like when people lack direction, they don't know where to go and you end up being confused. So these things might hopefully help you to stay on track and stay in focus. But I just decided to make these things 3 because there's more, but it's YouTube. I don't want to take too much of your time, and I can just stick to 3. If you guys want more, I can definitely come back and give you a few more, and we'll keep going like that. But yeah, the first thing is composition is king, right? Composition is everything. So for me, I've learned that over all this time, like, it's so easy to get caught up with a lot of the fun stuff about music production, stuff that is irrelevant, especially when you're starting out. Like, you want to hyper focus on the things that look cool, that you see other producers doing, that you maybe look up to, and the things that they do that is so cool that you want to get into those things, but you still haven't figured out and mastered the basic of composition, which is what all music is about. Because for me, I look at music not from the perspective of just the electronic music that I make myself and how it's composed, but also just on the broader view of like classic musicians, like how do they come up with ideas for songs? Like, think about all the most popular classical music that has ever been made. How was it written? Like, I even saw videos of people that make pop music, how they compose those songs and things like that. Like, I remember watching a video of Scott Storch playing like some songs that he produced for a lot of artists, and it was just playing it on keyboard, and everyone is mind blown in the comments. I'm like, wow, this dude is so good at playing, but it's not that he's super good at playing, but he's super good at composition, right? Because every beat, every piece of music has to be composed. It's composed somehow. There's composition involved. So if you want to make really good music, you really have to hyper focus on composing something that sounds really great. So that means being really good and being really honest to yourself about how you compose and how good you want to be when it comes to composition. So you really have to hyper focus on this, your keyboard, because that's where everything starts. That's where we compose everything. So your piano roll, you're gonna have to master your piano roll as much as you can so that you compose. Yes, drums do matter, when you compose your drums and you make your beats and all that, but what matters the most is your composition when it comes to the piano. I found that there are songs that might have not sounded the best in terms of mixing and mastering, but the composition was crazy. Those songs for me are my favorite songs because of the composition, not because of how cleanly mastered it is or anything like that. It wasn't the things that made the song really nice for me. And which is also my next point. Mixing and mastering is not important. That sounds really like it can trigger some people, because I know there's some people who are all about mixing and mastering. I used to be like that too. I had all the Waves plugins because I was like, yo, mixing and mastering is everything. And I get a lot of people even up until now that still hit me up about mixing and mastering, and I listen to their music and I'm like, yo, bro, you want me to take your money and do this mixing and mastering service for you, but this music is not there yet. So you're actually not getting much from the mixing and mastering service. If your music is not good, back to composition again, right? So a lot of people, when they're starting out, they hyper focus on that, but they haven't even mastered their composition skills yet. The music doesn't sound good, doesn't sound standard yet, but you want to hyper focus on mixing and mastering. Like, why, bro? There's no need for you to do that. You have to focus in on your composition skills and make sure that even if your song is being played just by a guitar or just a keyboard, like a grand piano alone, it's an amazing composition that And it can be something as basic as happy birthday. How you can play happy birthday on the keyboard and things like that. Like, those simple things, if you can play it on the keyboard alone and it sounds great, it's catchy, then you have a great idea. Hence, I brought up Scott Storch, that he could play like, Break Your Neck and some Beyonce songs and some songs that he produced as well, even like Still Dre. People play it on the piano, and it's a very iconic sound, and it's a very iconic piece of music that a lot of people understand and they know. So when it comes to composition, composition. It's important. Don't stress so much when you're starting out about mixing and mastering. Make sure your music's, is great, because I was also that guy. I'm like, yo, I can't wait to finish this beat so I can spend 10, 15, 20 hours mixing and mastering it and perfecting it to make it sound great. But I'm basically just wasting my time trying to polish a turd, basically, is the saying as it goes. And the last thing, I'm looking at my notes, is you are in the way of your own success, right? That's something I've noticed also for a while, that, I was in my own way, when it comes to my own success. And I've seen it with a lot of people. We are always in our own way. Why? Because we make so many excuses about, releasing our music, finishing our music. Basically everything that we can create an excuse for, it's an excuse. Oh, I can't make it because of this. Oh, I can't do this because of this. I can't release my music because of this. And even complaining even about money, like, bro, hustle. Everybody's hustling. You have no excuse. There is no excuse. Even money is not an excuse. Do something, get a job. People are getting jobs so that they can, focus on their dreams and things like that. That's just the raw truth about life, because a lot of people are not playing, but then they complain that they're not winning. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, bro, how the hell are you going to win if you don't even play? One, you want success in the music industry and you want your music to be big, but where's your music? It's nowhere to be found. You're not releasing it anywhere. Nothing is happening. So how the hell are you supposed to win again? You're supposed to win off the ideas that are in your head or in your computer, in your DAW, that you haven't even released yet. There are a lot of ways you can release your music, a lot of services that you can use to release your music, while also ignoring the negativity, because there's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of people criticizing all these things, or, when it comes to tools and all these services and things like that, because nothing is perfect, right? Everything has its issues, and that's a whole other conversation. But that's also excuses that people hyper focus on because they need, that justification to not use that service and not release their music, because they're like, no, I heard this company's a scam and they make bad products and blah blah blah, so I can't do this because of this guy, because of that. No, bro, you in your own way. People are releasing their music out here and they are making it and they're gigging and they're doing great things with themselves, and that's just how life goes. You keep making excuses to not show up. Don't complain that you're not winning. You're in your own way, basically. That's what I've learned. So these are just 3 things so that I don't keep rambling on and all that, and just keep going. But over the years that I've been making music, I had to really hyper focus on those, top 3 things that I just gave you to, make sure that I stay focused on my composition so I make great music. I don't worry so much about mixing and mastering. I can always do that later. You can always pay someone to sort that out. You just need to make sure you make the best music that you can make at that time, and you're done. And also not be in my own way. I've tried not to be in my own way so many times. Every day it's a struggle. Like, don't be in your own way. You have an idea, do it. Right now, sitting here making this video, I was almost in my own way. I cut on the camera, I put on the mic. I was like, yo, let me share this because it can help somebody. You're not in your way. You're getting things done, and you will see success. This channel here didn't grow to this size for no reason. There was so much going on behind the scenes, so much doubt even with every video, but if you keep pushing and you keep going and you keep releasing your music, you will get somewhere. It might be slow, obviously. It's not going to start off, big and everything, but it is what it is. So I hope this was really helpful. Share this video with a friend that actually might need this kind of, motivation and information that is truly helpful. If you found this video also helpful and informational, make sure to drop this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. And also subscribe if you're new. If you want to add anything in the comments, if you want to ask anything, you know what to do in the comments down below. If you want to support the channel, there are links in the description right there.